When 17-year-old LeBron got that chosen one tattoo on his shoulder, nobody could have imagined how this kid would change the world. But that tattoo was just the beginning. The real story was hidden in the streets of Akron in a mother and son's fight for survival. On that cold winter day in 2003, in a tattoo parlor in Akron, young LeBron James was making one of the most important decisions of his life. The chosen one inscription etched into his shoulder seemed like just 2 words, but those 2 words marked the beginning of one of basketball's greatest stories. This isn't just a story of basketball success. This is the perfect example of the American dream. The story of how a kid who had nothing became one of the world's most powerful athletes. So was LeBron James truly chosen, or did he create his own destiny? To answer this question, we need to go to the streets of Akron, to the days when Gloria James was raising her son alone. The tattoo artist who inked Chosen One on LeBron's shoulder later recalled, "This kid walked in with such confidence, most teenagers are nervous getting their first tattoo, but LeBron, he knew exactly what he wanted. He looked me in the eye and said, 'This isn't just a tattoo. This is my promise to the world.'" Little did anyone know that this 17-year-old's promise would reshape not just basketball, but sports culture itself. Born on December 30th, 1984, in Akron, Ohio, LeBron Raymond James didn't exactly have an easy start to life. His father, Anthony McClellan, disappeared when LeBron was still a baby. Left behind was a 16-year-old mother, Gloria James, and an uncertain future. Gloria describes those times. Every day was a new struggle, finding a place to stay, finding food, providing a safe environment for LeBron. Sometimes we'd pack up our stuff in the middle of the night and move to another house. LeBron lived in 12 different homes until he was 9 years old, sometimes with his grandmother, Frida James, sometimes at his mother, Gloria's friends' houses, sometimes in motel rooms. The effect of this constant moving on LeBron would be clearly seen in the family structure he later built. Determination, loyalty, and stability were more important to him than anything else. Those early years in Akron weren't just about poverty. They were about survival. Gloria worked multiple jobs, sometimes cleaning offices at night while LeBron slept in the car. She would tell him, "Baby, one day we'll have our own house, our own car, our own life. But right now, we have each other, and that's enough." LeBron remembers those nights. "I used to pretend I was sleeping when Mom would carry me from the car to whatever couch we were staying on that week. I could feel her hands shaking from exhaustion, but she never complained, never once." The neighborhoods they moved through weren't just economically challenged, they were dangerous. Drug dealers, gang violence, and broken families were the norm. But Gloria James had one rule that never changed, no matter where they lived: an education first, dream second, everything else can wait. When he was 9, the coincidence that would change his life happened. Frank Walker, coach of the local youth football team, Akron Summit Lake Hornets, offered to host LeBron. Walker remembers those days. "When I first saw LeBron, I noticed not only his athleticism, but also his leadership qualities. How could a 9-year-old kid show such natural leadership to other children?" But the decision wasn't easy for Gloria. Letting her son live with another family meant admitting she couldn't provide the stability he needed. It was one of the hardest decisions of her life. "I cried for 3 days straight," Gloria recalls, "but I knew this was bigger than my pride. This was about giving my son a chance I never had." Living with the Walker family, LeBron tasted stability for the first time in his life. Regular meals, regular school attendance, and most importantly, basketball. But it wasn't just the basics. Frank Walker introduced LeBron to structure: homework before TV, chores before play, respect for elders, no matter what. "Frank didn't just give me a bed," LeBron reflects. "He gave me discipline. He showed me that success isn't just about talent, it's about habits. Every morning at 6 a.m. he'd knock on my door. 'Champions don't sleep in, son.'" Playing with Frank Walker's son, Frankie, LeBron discovered his natural talent in basketball. But it wasn't just talent. His passion for the game was also remarkable. He'd wake up at 6 a.m., go for a run first, then play basketball again in the afternoon, and watch NBA NBA games on TV in the evening, says Frank Walker. During this period, LeBron's biggest idol was Michael Jordan. He had memorized Jordan's The Shot, his flu game performance, the 1998 finals, everything. But LeBron wasn't just imitating Jordan. He was also starting to develop his own playing style. Along with his growth, his point guard abilities were also developing. When he started playing in local leagues at 10 years old, opposing coaches noticed this. This kid was different. During his time with the Northeast Ohio Basketball Club, LeBron wasn't just a scorer, but also an excellent passer and rebounder. Triple-double numbers were becoming normal. Gloria James describes her son during that period. LeBron wasn't just playing, he was reading the game. It was as if he could see the future of the game. This talent wasn't just natural. LeBron worked on basketball from morning to night, watching videos, analyzing movements, constantly improving himself. But there was something else that set LeBron apart. His basketball IQ was off the charts. At age 11, he could predict plays 2 moves ahead. Coaches started asking him to demonstrate plays to older kids. I remember one tournament, recalls his youth coach, Drew Joyce Sr. LeBron was 11, playing against 13-year-olds. Not only was he dominating physically, but he was coaching his teammates during timeouts. I'd never seen anything like it. The word started spreading throughout Ohio. There's a kid in Akron who's going to change everything. By age 12, LeBron was dunking on regulation hoops. By 13, college scouts were already taking notice, but it was his leadership that really caught people's attention. He never acted like he was the best player on the court, even though everyone knew he was, says childhood teammate Romeo Travis. He made everyone around him better. That's when I knew he was special. When he turned 14, LeBron James faced an important decision. Which high school would he play basketball at? Akron Street, Vincent-St. Mary High School traditionally had a strong basketball program, but they had never had a player as special as LeBron. Coach Keith Dambrot didn't yet know what great potential he had discovered when he brought LeBron to his team. In his first practice, I realized he was far above the level of other kids, says Dambro, but it wasn't just individual talent. His ability to be a team player was also surprising. In his freshman year, 9th grade, LeBron moved to the varsity team. At 14 years old, he was playing with 18-year-old seniors. His averages that season, 18 points, 6.2 rebounds, 3.6 assists. But the numbers were only part of the story. LeBron's basketball IQ, leadership ability, and clutch performances were carrying the team to the state championship. The first game that changed everything was against a powerhouse school from Toledo. St. VM was down by 15 points at halftime. Coach Dambra remembers, I didn't even have to give a halftime speech. LeBron took care of it. He looked at his teammates and said, we're not losing this game. Follow me. They won by 12. In his sophomore year, 10th grade, LeBron was no longer just attracting attention locally, but nationally. ESPN, Sports Illustrated, and other major media outlets were starting to come to Akron. The goal, to see this kid called King James. His averages that year, 25.3 points, 7.4 rebounds, 5.5 assists. But it was the games that didn't show up in the stats that really mattered. The game against Oak Hill Academy, the best prep school in the country. LeBron had 32 points, but more importantly, he had 14 assists. He wasn't just beating elite competition, he was making his teammates better against elite competition. And that unforgettable game, the 2001 state championship final, LeBron led his team to championship with a 25-point, 9-rebound, 4-assist performance in that game. He was 16 years old. His words in the post-game interview were remarkable. This is just the beginning. Our goal is to win championships in the NBA. An NBA championship goal from a 16-year-old kid. In his junior year, 11th grade, LeBron James was no longer just a high school student. He had become a national phenomenon. When he appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated with the headline, The Chosen One, the basketball world was shocked. A high school student appearing on the cover of Sports Illustrated was unprecedented at that time. The photo shoot itself was historic. LeBron arrived at the studio with with Gloria, still trying to process what was happening. The photographer later said, "I've shot NBA superstars, Olympic athletes, but I'd never seen someone carry themselves with such confidence at 17. His averages that year, 29 points, 8.3 rebounds, 5.7 assists. But LeBron wasn't just a statistics machine. He was a team leader. He wanted the ball in the game's critical moments, and he was usually successful. The pressure that came with the Sports Illustrated cover was immense. Suddenly, every game was sold out. ESPN was broadcasting his high school games. College coaches couldn't even get close. I remember the first game after the cover came out, recalls teammate Sion Cotton. LeBron was so nervous he missed his first 5 shots. But then he looked at us and said, "Y'all know I'm about to go off, right?" And he did. 35 points. The 2002 state championship final was the greatest demonstration of LeBron's leadership ability. When the team was down by 8 points in the fourth quarter, LeBron stepped up. He scored 12 points in the final 6 minutes. He found the game-winning shot in the final 30 seconds. Final scored, they won 73-72. LeBron had 36 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists in that game. He was 17 years old. After the game, as confetti fell, LeBron didn't celebrate. He sat on the bench staring at his hands. When asked what he was thinking, he said, "I was thinking about my mom, about all those nights we had nowhere to go. This is for her." Entering his senior year, 12th grade, LeBron James was the most talked about name in the basketball world. But he faced a big decision. Would he go directly to the NBA or would he play in college? At that time, the NBA's age limit was 18, so he could enter the NBA draft immediately after graduating high school. Prestigious college programs like Duke, North Carolina, and Ohio State wanted LeBron. Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski. We wanted to see LeBron at Duke. Just imagining what he could do in college basketball was exciting. But LeBron's mind was elsewhere. Gloria James's financial situation was still difficult. NBA rookie contracts meant millions of dollars. The family was still living in subsidized housing. Gloria was working at a local diner. LeBron would often see his mother counting pennies to pay bills. LeBron explains his thoughts during that period. "My mom fought for me for 18 years. Now it was my turn." The decision wasn't just financial. It was emotional. LeBron had watched too many promising players get injured in college, losing their NBA dreams forever. "I saw what happened to other guys," LeBron reflects. "One injury in college and everything you worked for is gone. I couldn't risk that happening to my family's future." When he decided to enter the 2003 draft, it created great excitement in the basketball world. He delivered performances that amazed NBA scouts in workouts. Cleveland Cavaliers general manager Jim Paxson. "When I saw LeBron in his first workout, I realized this wasn't just potential, but a ready NBA player." The Detroit Pistons had the first pick, but everyone knew LeBron would go to Cleveland. And that historic night came, June 26, 2003 NBA draft. When David Stern stepped onto the stage, the envelope in his hand would change LeBron James's destiny. With the first pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James, St. Vincent-St. Mary High School. At that moment, great joy was experienced in Akron, Cleveland, and all of Ohio. 18-year-old LeBron James was now an NBA player, but more importantly, he would play for his home team. The Ohio kid was staying in Ohio. The moment his name was called, LeBron didn't jump up and celebrate like most draft picks. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and whispered something to himself. Later, he revealed what he said. "We made it, Mom. We finally made it." Gloria James was crying in the audience. The 16-year-old single mother who had struggled to keep her son fed and housed was now watching him become a millionaire on national television. "I thought about all those nights when I couldn't buy him the shoes he wanted," Gloria later said. "All those times I had to tell him we couldn't afford something. In that moment, I knew he'd never want for anything again." But for LeBron, this was just the beginning. Being drafted was one thing. Proving he belonged was another. The 2003 to 2004 season was LeBron James's first year in the NBA. The pressure was palpable. The Cleveland Cavaliers were one of the worst teams in history with a 1765 record the previous season. Fans' expectation, LeBron would take this team to the playoffs. He would play his first game against the Sacramento Kings. That night, Gund Arena, now Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, was packed. 20,000 people had come to see the 18-year-old kid. LeBron had 25 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists in that game. The Cavaliers won 106-92. With that performance, LeBron James became the youngest player in NBA history to record 20-plus points, 5-plus rebounds, 5-plus assists in his debut game. But the rest of the season wouldn't be that easy. The NBA's physical nature, travel schedule, and media pressure were big challenges for 18-year-old LeBron. During his slump in January, he dropped to an average of 16 points per game. Criticism began. He came to the NBA too early. He would have been better if he had played in college. He couldn't live up to the hype. The criticism cut deep. LeBron was still just 19 years old, trying to prove himself against grown men who had been playing professional basketball for years. I remember one game in Detroit, LeBron recalls. I had 8 turnovers, shot 3 for 15. The crowd was booing every time I touched the ball. I went to the locker room and called my mom crying. She told me, "Baby, champions aren't made in the easy times. They're made when everything seems impossible." LeBron's response to these criticisms was remarkable. He focused on improving himself. The extra work he did with Coach Paul Silas accelerated LeBron's adaptation process to the NBA. When he found his form in March, his averages rose to 22 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Season-end averages 20.9 points, 5.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists. He won the NBA Rookie of the Year award with these numbers. But more importantly, he had taken the Cavaliers to a 35-47 record, an 18-game improvement. That year, LeBron was not only Rookie of the Year, but also became the youngest player to record a triple-double, 20 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. He achieved this when he was 19 years, 1 month, 22 days old. Between 2004 and 2008, LeBron James quickly rose to superstar level in the NBA. In 2005, he was selected to his first All-Star game at 20 years old. In 2006, he took the Cavaliers to the playoffs. The team won its first playoff series in 18 years. In 2007, he reached the finals. He became the 3rd youngest player to play in the NBA Finals at 22 years old. But what was really important was the 2007 Eastern Conference Finals. In Game 5 against the Detroit Pistons, LeBron delivered one of the greatest individual performances in NBA history. He scored 23 of the team's last 25 points alone. In overtime, he scored all of the team's points, 48 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. After that game, the basketball world started viewing LeBron James differently. He was no longer just a young player with high potential. He was a superstar ready to be a championship contender. The performance was so dominant that Pistons coach Flip Saunders said afterward, "We witnessed greatness tonight. That wasn't just a basketball game. That was a coronation." In 2008, he entered his first MVP discussions. Kobe Bryant won that year, but it was clear LeBron's time was coming. In 2009, he won his first MVP award at 24 years old. But there was one problem. He couldn't win a championship in Cleveland. Management couldn't provide LeBron with adequate supporting cast. In 2010, when his contract expired, LeBron James faced one of the biggest decisions of his life. Would he continue to stay in Cleveland? July 8th, 2010, The Decision program aired on ESPN. The show was unprecedented. Never before had an athlete controlled their own free agency announcement in such a public manner. ESPN gave LeBron an entire hour of primetime television. The setup was simple. LeBron sat across from Jim Gray with with representatives from each potential team: Miami Heat, Chicago Bulls, Cleveland Cavaliers, New York Knicks, New Jersey Nets, and Los Angeles Clippers, waiting by their phones. For 45 minutes, LeBron talked about his journey, his goals, his decision-making process. The entire sports world held its breath. Then came the moment that would change NBA history forever. I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat. This decision became one of the most controversial transfer decisions in NBA history. Cleveland fans felt betrayed. The chosen son was leaving home. They declared LeBron a traitor. They burned his jerseys in the streets. Dan Gilbert, the Cavaliers owner, wrote a scathing letter calling LeBron's decision a cowardly betrayal. But LeBron's goal was clear: championship. The criticism was brutal. ESPN Skip Bayless called him Lee Bum. Fans across the country turned against him. Even Michael Jordan criticized the decision, saying he would never join forces with his rivals. I didn't realize how much hatred would come with that decision, LeBron later admitted. I was just a 25-year-old kid trying to win championships, but America saw it as betrayal. The backlash affected LeBron deeply. For the first time in his career, he was the villain. The kid from Akron who had been America's sweetheart was now public enemy number one. In Miami, he joined Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh to create a super team. The expectation was immediate success. At the Heat's welcome party, LeBron infamously predicted not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7 championships. But success didn't come easily. The 2011 NBA Finals against the Dallas Mavericks was LeBron's lowest moment as professional. He averaged just 17.8 points per game, well below his usual standards. In Game 4, he scored only 8 points. I wasn't ready for that stage yet, LeBron reflects. I thought talent was enough. I learned that championship basketball is different. It's about mental toughness, about making the right play, even when the pressure is unbearable. The Mavericks won 4-2. LeBron was devastated. He had left Cleveland to win championships, and now he had lost in the finals again. The criticism reached a fever pitch. LeBron can't win the big one. He's not clutch. He'll never be Jordan. That summer, LeBron made a crucial decision. He hired a sports psychologist. He worked with personal trainers. He studied film obsessively. I realized I had to change my approach, LeBron says. I was trying to be everything to everyone. I needed to focus on being the best version of myself. The 2012 season was different. LeBron was more focused, more determined. He had learned from his failures. In the Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics, facing elimination in Game 6, LeBron delivered one of the greatest performances in playoff history. 45 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists. The Heat won by 19. That Game 6 in Boston was when I became a champion, LeBron later said. That's when I stopped being afraid of the moment and started embracing it. In the finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder, LeBron dominated. 28.6 points, 10.2 rebounds, 7.4 assists. The Heat won 4-1. When the final buzzer sounded, LeBron collapsed on the court, overwhelmed with emotion. He had finally won his first championship. All those years of criticism, all those doubts, all those sleepless nights, it was all worth it for this moment, LeBron said through tears. But in 2013, he won back-to-back championships. The 2013 finals against the San Antonio Spurs was a classic. Game 6 went to overtime, with Ray Allen hitting one of the most clutch shots in finals history, keep the Heat alive. In Game 7, LeBron was magnificent. 37 points, 12 rebounds. The Heat won 95-88. LeBron had proven he could win championships, but something was still missing. He hadn't brought a title to Cleveland. After losing the finals to the San Antonio Spurs in 2014, LeBron made another historic decision. He was returning to Cleveland. This decision, announced in Sports Illustrated with the "I'm Coming Home" article, was the beginning of new hope for Cleveland. The article, written by LeBron himself, was heartfelt and humble. "I'm not promising a championship. I know how hard that is to deliver. We're not ready right now. No way. Of course, I want to win next year, but I'm realistic. It will be a long process, much longer than it was in Miami." But LeBron knew what he was getting into. The Cleveland Cavaliers were still not a championship-ready team. They had young talent in Kyrie Irving, but they needed more. LeBron used his influence to help the Cavaliers trade for Kevin Love from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Suddenly, Cleveland had a big three of their own. The 2015 season was promising until disaster struck. In Game 1 of the NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors, Kyrie Irving suffered a fractured kneecap. Kevin Love had already been injured in the playoffs. LeBron was essentially alone against the best regular season team in NBA history, 73-9 Warriors. Despite the odds, LeBron carried the Cavaliers to 6 games. He averaged 35.8 points, 13.3 rebounds, 8.8 assists in the finals. No player had ever led both teams in all 3 major statistical categories in a final series. Even though Cleveland lost, LeBron had shown something special. He was willing to sacrifice individual glory for his team's success. "I'd rather lose trying to win than not try at all," LeBron said after the series. The 2016 season was Cleveland's year of destiny. The regular season was solid, but not spectacular. The Cavaliers finished 57-25, good but not great. In the playoffs, they struggled at times. They barely beat the Detroit Pistons in the first round. They needed 6 games to beat the Atlanta Hawks. But in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Toronto Raptors, something clicked. The Cavaliers won 4-2 with LeBron averaging 24.4 points, 8.1 rebounds, 6.1 assists. Then came the Finals rematch with Golden State. The Warriors had set an NBA record with 73 regular season wins. They had added depth to their roster. They were heavy favorites. After 4 games, Cleveland was down 3-1. No team in NBA Finals history had ever come back from a 3-1 deficit. "We're going home," LeBron told his teammates after Game 4. "And we're going to force a Game 7. Game 5 in Cleveland was magical. LeBron had 41 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists. Kyrie Irving added 41 points of his own. The Cavaliers won 112-97. Game 6 back in Golden State was even better. LeBron again had 41 points with 8 rebounds and 11 assists. Cleveland won 115-101. The series was going to Game 7. Game 7, June 19th, 2016, Oracle Arena, Oakland, California. The game was tied 89-89 with less than 2 minutes remaining. Then Andre Iguodala got a fast break opportunity that seemed certain to give Golden State the lead, but LeBron James, running from behind, timed his jump perfectly and blocked Iguodala's layup attempt. The block became an instant classic, one of the greatest defensive plays in NBA history. On the next possession, Kyrie Irving hit a clutch three-pointer over Stephen Curry. Cleveland led 92-89. The Cavaliers held on to win 93-89. LeBron James had 27 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists, a triple-double in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. When the final buzzer sounded, LeBron collapsed on the court in tears. He had done it. He had brought Cleveland a championship after 52 years. His words after winning the championship were unforgettable. "Cleveland, this is for you." The city went crazy. An estimated 1.3 million people attended the championship parade. LeBron kept his promise to Cleveland. "This is the greatest moment of my professional career," LeBron said, "to bring a championship to Northeast Ohio, to end the 52-year drought. This is what I came back for." LeBron's incredible journey isn't over yet. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more NBA legend stories, because behind every legend there's an unforgettable story. In 2018, he transferred to the Los Angeles Lakers to complete his legacy. The decision to leave Cleveland again was difficult, but LeBron knew he had fulfilled his promise. Cleveland had their championship. "I gave everything I had to Cleveland," LeBron explained. "I kept my word. Now I wanted to challenge myself in a new environment to help restore the Lakers to greatness." The first season in Los Angeles was disappointing. The Lakers missed the playoffs. LeBron suffered the first significant injury of his career, a groin strain that sidelined him for several weeks. Critics began to question whether LeBron was finally showing his age. At 34, maybe he was no longer capable capable of carrying a team, but LeBron wasn't done. In 2019, the Lakers traded for Anthony Davis. The partnership between LeBron and AD became one of the most dominant in the league. The 2020 season was unlike any other. The COVID-19 pandemic shut down the league for several months. When play resumed in the Orlando bubble, the Lakers were ready. LeBron, at age 35, was still playing at an MVP level. He averaged 25.3 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 10.2 assists during the regular season. In the playoffs, he was even better. The Lakers swept the Portland Trail Blazers in the first round. They defeated the Houston Rockets 4-1 in the second round. They beat the Denver Nuggets 4-1 in the Western Conference Finals. In the finals against the Miami Heat, LeBron's former team, the Lakers, won 4-2. LeBron had won another championship with another franchise. He became only the third player in NBA history to win Finals MVP with 3 different teams. This championship's different, LeBron said. This is for everyone who's been affected by 2020. This is for Kobe. The Lakers had dedicated their season to Kobe Bryant, who had died tragically in a helicopter crash earlier that year. Today, at 39 years old, he's still playing in the NBA. All-time scoring record, passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with 38,387 plus points. 4 championships, 4 finals MVPs, 4 regular season MVPs. But his statistical achievements, as impressive as they are, only tell part of the story. But LeBron James's legacy isn't limited to just basketball. I Promise School, the school he opened in Akron, changed the lives of thousands of children. The school, which opened in 2018, serves at-risk children in LeBron's hometown. It provides free tuition, uniforms, meals, transportation, and college scholarships for students who graduate. Education was always important to me and my mom, LeBron explains. We understand how hard it is for kids who don't have stable homes, who move around a lot. I wanted to create a place where kids like I was could have the support they need to succeed. The school has been incredibly successful. Graduation rates and test scores have improved dramatically for students who attend. He founded a production company in Hollywood with Spring Hill Entertainment. Spring Hill Entertainment has produced documentaries, television shows, and movies. Their work focuses on authentic storytelling, particularly stories that highlight social issues and underrepresented communities. One of their most successful productions was The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary series that became a cultural phenomenon during the COVID-19 pandemic. He created a billion-dollar business empire. LeBron's business investments span multiple industries: technology, media, retail, real estate, and sports. He was an early investor in Beats by Dre, which sold to Apple for $3 billion. He has stakes in Liverpool FC, Fenway Sports Group, and multiple tech startups. In 2021, Forbes estimated LeBron's net worth at over $1 billion, making him the first active NBA player to reach billionaire status. But perhaps more importantly, LeBron has used his platform for social justice. He has been vocal about police brutality, voting rights, and education inequality. He founded More Than a Vote, an organization aimed at fighting voter suppression in black communities. With great power comes great responsibility, LeBron says, quoting Spider-Man. I have a platform that reaches millions of people. I have to use that platform to speak out against injustice. His activism hasn't always been popular. Critics have told him to shut up and dribble, but LeBron has never backed down from using his voice. My job is not just to entertain, he says. My job is to use my platform to make the world a better place for my children and everyone's children. And most importantly, he never forgot where he came from. That Chosen One tattoo he got on his shoulder at 17 is still there. Every year, LeBron returns to Akron for his foundation's events. He drives through his old neighborhoods. He visits the schools where he struggled as a child. I could live anywhere in the world, LeBron says, but Akron will always be home. These streets made me who I am, because LeBron James was truly chosen from the streets of Akron to the world stage, from the chosen child to the king. The prophecy that began with a tattoo on a 17 17-year-old's shoulder had come true in ways no one could have imagined. LeBron James didn't just become a basketball player, he became a global icon, a social activist, a business mogul, and a symbol of what's possible when talent meets determination and purpose. The kid from Akron changed the world, just like he promised he would. How did you find LeBron James's incredible journey from Akron to the world stage? Share in the comments which moment affected you the most. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more NBA legend stories. Hit the bell to turn on notifications so you don't miss our new videos. In our next video, we'll be back with Michael Jordan's never-before-told story.